feeling a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of things that I have started that I have not finished. And I feel like I'm having a hard time really focusing on creating something new because there are too many things that I could potentially work on. I am focusing on finishing projects. So this is part 2 of a mission finish your projects that I started a couple weeks ago. The first episode featured me finishing the fabrication of pretty much everything that I had started on my bench that was like cohesive or like made sense to finish. So I finished 4 rings. I have those listed on my website. They may or may not still be available. And then I finished 5 pendants. And I finished fabricating them, but I needed to engrave them. They are a part of the symbols line. Here's a picture of some of the pieces and just kind of a continuation of that. I don't know. All I know is they were on my bench. I finished fabricating them, meaning like soldering, filing, sanding, building the pendant. And now it is my job for the finishing details. In part 1 of this series, I gave myself from Friday to Friday to see how much I could get done. I was super ambitious in my head, thinking I am going to get all of these things done, all the rings, all the pendants engraved and listed onto my website in 1 week. And if I had nothing else going on, that could have potentially happened. But I have a part-time job. I have hobbies and other things I have going on. And I also am limited with my workspace, and that my husband's been needing the engraving setup, so I haven't been able to do that. It is Sunday afternoon. I have a few hours at the engraving bench where nobody else is gonna need it, and we're going to see what we can get done in the next couple hours. This is what we worked on last week and got finished. The object of our concern this week is this pile. This is my engraving pile. As you can see, there's a lot going on. Almost 20 pieces. This might become its own entire, like, kind of shorter fab video. I have these. These are a part of my symbols line. This one is a one of a kind. I have a smaller scorpion design that I offer as made to order, but like something like this. Just thought it'd be kind of fun. Like, what if the scorpion was holding a gemstone? We're about to see. Same with this one. The pattern for this one was kind of weird. The way I cut it out, there was a lot of room in the tail, and I thought maybe it needed a gem to fill that space and fill the composition, and I do think it looks good. We'll engrave that. Small snake, cherries that I actually hate, but I'm going to finish it anyway because somebody probably will love it. A skull. These sell really well. Bat. I sold my only bat to my mom, actually, but I thought maybe it'd be nice to just have one on hand. And then a Super S. And I sold my Super S on hand, so engrave that. So that's the symbols pieces that need to be engraved. I really don't think it's going to take that long to get them done. And then I have this one. It'll go with this gemstone. I low-key don't want to sell it because it's so cool. I've never found another gemstone like this before. It's hematite included in jasper. Amazing. That's my goal this week. By the time this video is uploaded, what I am hoping is to have this pile engraved with something. And then by the time the video actually comes out, everything will be on my website. Obligatory cheese. For everybody who is wondering, he's actually doing really well. He is indeed kind of already asking for his nighttime treat. I give him a little can of wet cat food at night. It incentivizes him to come home. Cheesy, come home. Kind of like Gary, come home. But Cheesy, come home, because he does have outside access. All the do-gooders of the world can kiss my grits. So I just did the first 2 pendants, and they were the ones that were the biggest of all of the symbols ones. So they were the most complex of the symbols ones, and they took 45 minutes. It's only 6 o'clock. So I'm probably going to engrave for 1 more hour. I might be able to knock out the next 4 pendants within that hour. And if that's the case, then I'm very much ahead of the game. I just wanted to take a second and talk about my current afternoon drink obsession. In fact, it is the drink that has been getting me through this series in general. And that is Magic Mind, the mental performance shot. And after a few weeks of taking this shot fairly consistently, I have to confess I'm really enjoying it. If you're anything like me, caffeine makes you feel insane in the membrane. A younger version of me would drink an entire French press of coffee, pace around my house, feeling like I was going to die, not getting anything done because I was so concerned about my heart stopping. I realized that, a stimulant like this is like really powerful, and maybe my body is kind of sensitive, so I need to be really careful not to consume like hundreds of milligrams of caffeine every day. So I've been looking for other alternatives. There's a bunch of adaptogens. There's ashwagandha, which is nature's chill pill. There's bacopa, which is nature's Adderall. Rhodiola is like a stimulant that gives you like a clear, cool focus, but doesn't make you have those jitters the same way that like caffeine does. It's also an appetite suppressant, so be careful. Make sure you're getting enough fat and protein to fuel your brain while you're working hard, while you're working so hard in your little mental focus. When your cells are communicating on all cylinders, you get a clean, cool focus that actually helps you get things done. Because here's the thing. You want to work hard, you want to play hard, you want work-life balance, right? Like we're done with the whole like I work my day away for the man, for the sake of working and being productive. That's not cool anymore. It never really was that cool. We just were all kind of sold a lie. So when we do work, because work is an important part of the human, condition, we do enjoy working on things, especially things that bring us joy. We want to be able to focus on them and get into a flow state, because being in a flow state is very fun. I don't know about you, but I enjoy being in a flow state very much. And when I'm not distracted by my body feeling like it's on fire or my cell phone, honestly, I feel like I can drop in pretty well. And having something that helps with that afternoon drink ritual that I love so much, that doesn't make me feel jittered and on edge, and helps my brain and body actually like focus on what I'm doing and help me drop into that flow state with a little more ease, I'm all for it, So if you're interested in trying it, you can use my code SabinaJune50 to take 50% off your first subscription order, or 20% off your first one-time order. And you can try it and see for yourself if you like it. My little kitty cat's calling me back to work. Thank you, Magic Mind, so much. And let's get back to the video. My phone and my headphones are about to die, and I feel like I need to not be sitting anymore. I'm gonna feed Bubbenstein his dinner, his little dinner pate. I learned this after I made the first batch of skull pendants. I like to pierce out the eyeballs with my saw blades. I just engrave in the details. It looks better. It takes a lot less time. Yeah, but I didn't apparently cut the eyes out of this, obviously, as you can see. I'm going to have to engrave the eyes out, which is fine. It's just going to take more time, and it won't be as clean. So instead of it taking about 10, 15 minutes to engrave this, it might take like 30, which not bad. Not a bad amount of time. But, just the less time I spend engraving means the cost for you guys can be a little bit more accessible. I don't know, because I still really care about people being able to afford my art. I just want people to buy it. That's really what it is. I want you to buy my art. I want you to be able to find my videos, see what I make, and then buy it and feel excited about it. Like it's something that you can and want to do. So I don't know. I'm going to clean up. I'm going to shut her down, And I'm going to enjoy the last few minutes of sunlight and maybe do some sewing, because I don't know if you guys know this, but I sew also, and I'm making my very first quilt right now. I think that I will be releasing a video about it as well. I've been filming all of the process, so follow along, subscribe if you want to see me in my creative endeavors. I think that's as far as we're going to take it for today. My eyeballs burn. Cheese says hello. Cheesy cat. I got all of the outline done for the peonies, but they need a lot of like undercutting and shade lines added to them. So we're going to do that either tomorrow or the next day. We shall see. I'm really feeling the peonies these days, and I'm just going to run with it, you know? I used to have this thing when I was like younger in my career and just in my artistic practice where I felt like I couldn't repeat a design. Like everything has to be one of a kind. I can't repeat a motif or repeat a design because I'm not pushing my art, and I just kind of want to put a peony on everything. So like be prepared to get sick of me because the peons are coming. The peons are coming. I have a few things to discuss before I sit down and engrave for today. I'm feeling so many different things. It's like really uncomfortable. So I'm just going to use this as a journal really quickly instead of like privately handling these. Maybe I'll publicly handle these feelings and you can relate to my struggle as well. I've begun to develop a persona around my creativity and trying to influence you, honestly. Like if I can be an influencer of any kind, I would like to influence you to be creative yourself. Because I'm somebody who holds a lot of creative energy. People will see what I'm doing, and people who recognize how much work goes into mastering craft will see what I'm doing and tell me I'm really onto something. I need to be doing all these other things to get myself out there. And I appreciate their sentiments and I appreciate what they're saying to me, but it is incredibly overwhelming because I don't know how. I don't really care about becoming a marketing wizard. I don't really care about like figuring out how to be the next social media sensation. For me, it's about the craft. For me, it's about the process, hence my very process heavy videos. I don't know how to truly blossom the way I want to. What I would love to do is be able to make a video, like a process video about what I'm making and sell it. It'd be really cool to like sell the things that I'm making because of these videos. I'm not there yet, but at this point it's kind of like I'm having a lot of fun just making the videos and communicating in this way. And like, I like being chatty. If you want a straight up tutorial without some chatty interludes, I'm not the creator for you. And like, get over it. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but this is me and this is my YouTube channel. Make the videos that you want to see in the world, okay? If you want the not chatty videos, make them yourself, okay? I'm a chatty bitch. I'm going to chat on the internet to you lovely strangers. And I think that I take it personally because for a long time I have been finding my voice, and I actually at some point along my life as a very young girl had my voice completely taken away by a very abusive person. And it wasn't like malicious intent. It was like very much unconscious. This person couldn't handle somebody being themselves. So they had to dim the light of those around them in order to feel secure about themselves. But that does a lot of damage to a very young girl. And then me as an early 20-something went on a healing journey, and I've been finding my voice again. And so making these videos has been very healing for me. I have to edit them, and I want to make good videos. I want to make videos that people want to watch, which requires editing, unfortunately for me. And I'm the one who edits them because I don't have an editor. And I also, like I said, it's a healing process for me. When I first started making videos years and years ago, I would do one pass through with edits. And if I had to do a voiceover, I would do a one-shot voiceover. So for pretty much up until like the end of last year, I was not really editing my videos. And then I kind of realized like, okay, this is part of it. If I want to make good videos, I have to continue editing. And so now I'm at the point where I can make it through a video 3 times before I'm absolutely sick of listening to myself talk. It's an improvement, because before I could only do it once, maybe. I would post videos where I didn't edit at all because I couldn't stomach listening to myself or viewing myself. And now I am healing that. I am being able to witness myself and see myself. I can hear myself speak and not feel cringe. I feel proud of what I am making now more than I ever have before. And I know that as I continue to do this, I will continue to heal this side of myself that has a hard time being seen. And it's part of this thing that like feels really sticky and icky when people tell me how much they like my work and they think it's great and tell me all of these different ways that I can be seen. It's like, yeah, I know I really struggle with this. I really struggle with getting my stuff out there and being found. Energetically, there might be a block, you know, there's something in my subconscious that does not want to be seen. There is something deep within me that does desire to be seen very much and have the work that I do be valued. I understand that I am valuable outside of this, and I've spent the last couple of years finding that for myself. If I make these videos for the rest of my life and they still only get 20 to 100 views, I did it because it felt good, because it was fun for me, not because I was seeking the validation in my art from you. No offense, I hope you like it. Like, it's the tension of I want people to like what I do, and all of my worth and value being placed in you liking what I do. I like what I do. I have a lot of fun and I find a lot of value and purpose in my day-to-day life making the things that I make, and I love sharing the process with you. I love sharing these little like tidbits and snippets of thought with you guys. And I feel like there is something big for me in the future. Is it delusion? I don't know. Is it magical thinking? I don't know. But I also know that it's a journey. It is a journey learning to love and accept yourself. It is a journey being able to go from wanting to genuinely be invisible and disappear to being seen by the masses. I would say that it's very hard to jump cut from being absolutely invisible to being seen by the masses, and I am somewhere in the middle right now. And that's okay. It's part of the journey. I'm learning how to communicate more. I'm learning how to tell these stories better. I film hours of content. I must confess, I'm a chatty bitch. I film hours of content and I cut it down and I try and keep everything under an hour. So I'm trying to tell a whole story in a shorter amount of time. I can't do it in 15 seconds to 5 minutes. I really struggle with those shorter form contents. I want to make longer form content, and that is why I'm on YouTube. I genuinely, with my whole heart, love making YouTube videos. So I don't know. I don't necessarily feel better. I still feel like there's probably something that I need to be doing that's different. But when I drop into that, it turns into this weird urgency panic that feels really gross. So I'm gonna start engraving. I'm working on this Hecate pendant. I have like 45 minutes until we're gonna go look at a house. So that's exciting. Who knows? Well, I don't know. I've been living with my in-laws for a year now. It's time to get a house. No shade against them though. They've been amazing people. I just would like my own house, you know? Anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to see what I can get started. So most of the engraving is done, honestly. As you guys saw, I really did a number on that pile. But I have enough of these symbols pendants finished at this point that I would like to get them inked. I'm still in experimentation mode. It's just the best thing for making your pendants like bliggity black. And I really like that aesthetic. So yeah, I'm gonna take you through that process. The engraver that I learned this from has been using this technique forever, and he has talked about the longevity of the ink in his pendants especially, and he said he's never had any problems with them. So I'm gonna trust his knowledge, and then I also have a policy that if anything happens, your ink chips out, bang my line. Please send the piece back to me. I will fix it. I want your work to stand the test of time. Ew, go away, you freak. There's a fly on my phone. Your work should stand the test of time. This isn't China made fast fashion. This is American made. This is American made. This is American made, one of a kind artwork, supposed to be high quality. I don't know. I'm just saying the buzzwords. Also, no hate against China or Chinese people. The whole hating China thing is really odd to me. I just really do believe in like the empowerment of owning the means of production and investing in high quality goods. So maybe high quality goods do exist from overseas manufacturing. I believe that that is true. I also believe that we need to be more empowered with how we're manufacturing our goods, because there's a lot of real bullshit being created these days. And it's absolutely insane to me how our first instinct when something breaks is to just throw it away. Hi, send it to me. I will repair it. It's supposed to last a long time. Please let me repair it. At the very least, take it to a pawn shop and get the melt value given back to you. Like, it is precious metals, you guys. It's not garbage. In addition to the pieces that you guys watched me engrave, I have this pendant that I created a little over a year ago. It has a rabbit engraved on the back and it's oxidized. Here's a better close-up of the rabbit. As you guys can see, it's more of like a gray black, as opposed to a true black. Here's the front of the pendant. So pretty. And then the back, rabbit and some flowers. And then I also have this bolo. This piece, the bolo, really cute, so pretty. I created this desert collection before I learned how to engrave. So it's pre-engraving, pre-understanding the inking process. Not a big deal. But just now that I know how to ink, like, why would I not do it to everything I possibly can? So I'm going to throw these in the rotation and we're going to ink these as well. So let's talk about the inking process. This is what I do to all of the engraved things that I make. I feel like it makes the contrast of the engraved lines versus the metal just really crisp, and more crisp than oxidation ever could. So for those of you who don't know, oxidation is when a silver or copper substance, mineral, is exposed to oxygen. It turns black. So like if you have
a family member who has like silver dishes. They're constantly polishing them because of oxidation. And chances are, if you have silver jewelry, you're polishing it too because it turns black if you kind of leave it alone for a while. It's just the natural process of what silver does. And as a jeweler, I can force that process to create contrast in my pieces to make the details of them stand out. It's a really common thing. But with engraving, what I'm finding is that I don't like how gray the natural oxidation is. It's not black enough for me. And so when I took my engraving classes the last couple years, we learned the process of inking. So you take oil-based paint, dilute it with a solvent like acetone, get those particles? I don't know. Get those particles nice and loose in the solution and apply it using a Q-tip. This allows everything to get into the nooks and crannies of your piece to allow for the most contrast. And so what I do is I build it up slowly. I take it away, I build it up, I take it away. You can scrape off the excess if you'd like. I try and wipe it away if I can, but what I'm going to end up doing later in this video that you will see is I'm going to rub the surfaces of all of these with a 4/0 steel wool. So it's a super fine steel wool that removes any of the excess paint. And that just brings back that silver polish shine without having to worry too much about the paint getting everywhere. Like the paint's just going to get everywhere. It's paint. And this way I can be a little bit more intentional with making sure that everything's as black as I want it to be without worrying about is the paint on everything, because I just know that I'm going to remove it more detail focused later. And that's how I create the contrast for your jewelry.
It's the next day and I have returned to the studio. We looked at a couple houses. One of them we really like. We have to wait a week though. So, we just gotta calm down and stay busy until we know more. In the meantime, let us finish the inking process. The person that I had learned this from suggests wiping off as much of the excess as you can before it dries. I have a hard time keeping the paint in the back if I wipe off too much of the excess on the front. Like it just absorbs into the paper towel or the Q-tip or the business card that I use sometimes to scrape it. Like this is only about as good as I can get with the scraping, and it's really blurry, but you can still see some of the paint residue. And it's like, well, I'm just gonna rub it with some steel wool. So I have my handy dandy 4/0 steel wool. You can get this at the hardware store, pretty much any hardware store. And I just use a little pinch. And I try and keep it separate from my silver dust. And I just use it to buff off the black paint off the high surfaces. So I'll show you the before and after, and I'll show you a little bit of the action. But I'm trying to listen to the Broski Report right now. And I like to watch it on YouTube because she's got funny clips and things that she shows us sometimes. And I can't record and watch YouTube videos at the same time. So I'm so sorry. I'm not going to show you me buffing off every single piece because I need to watch Lord Brittany. So you can kind of get the gist of it. You can kind of see, it starting. Take this paintbrush and I knock the steel wool dust out of it. That's about as good as it's going to get for me. Then I'm going to use some fine grit polishing paper and just buff the top just real quick. That gives it just that extra little bit of shine. Really makes it nice and shiny. So I'm going to do this to the rest of them. It's the exact same process. Steel wool to get the paint off, and then polishing paper to make it all like uniform and shiny. And then we'll be done. I photograph, I put on the website, and you purchase and wear and love and enjoy. That is the steps. Those are the final steps. So pretty. I have 2 stones to set, and then, no, 3 stones to set. And then they're all done, ready to be photographed.
Once again, another example of it needs the sunlight to really shine. Because I promise this gemstone is flashy. You just can't see it in this cloudy afternoon sun. And here it is all finished. Beautiful, beautiful. As you guys saw before with this one, just the difference between the black and the kind of gray oxidation, as well as this one. And then originally I had used a Sharpie. It was a Milwaukee marker actually to blacken this, but the ink just gives it that depth. And then same with these. I'll be honest, most of these are going to be considered one of a kinds. Like the only one that will be true to collection is the Super S and the Bat. So I don't have a ton of work left to do on those two. These were just replacing my samples. So they're available. You can purchase these right now. I will make you one to order as is. I won't be bringing this design back exactly like this. And since these two snakes were engraved so differently, you know, they just look so different. This one has a much bigger border. This one has a different kind of scale pattern. I'm going to list these as one of a kinds as well. And this cherry, the frame is way different. It's just not something that I'm super duper happy with for like my samples. So I'm going to end up trying that one again. I'm revamping the symbols line a little bit. I'll be reworking some of the designs just to like, I don't know, make them how I want them. I think as the Arizona collection specifically, I want to tweak just a little bit. Nothing too crazy, but now what I'm going to do, it's Friday at 4:52 p.m. I'm going to go work on something else. I'm working my day job this weekend, and then on Monday I'm getting my nails done at 11 a.m. So I will end up taking all of the photos for these, all the product photography for these pieces on Monday afternoon, and then hopefully the video will be uploaded shortly after that. So we are almost done. And that was it, you guys. Like, we finished all of those pieces over the last few weeks, and the energy in the studio feels much different. Just take a moment to look at how beautiful and flashy that stone is. It is like a green-blue flash, and you can see it much better with the naked eye in person, and it's just a testament to sometimes a gemstone is meant to be seen in person. And that makes it hard to sell via the internet. But you know what? When it shows up at your door and it's way better than you even ever imagined, that feels like a little gift in and of itself. So yeah, these are the finished pieces. This was this round of make sure you finish your project, Sabina, because good God almighty, you need to finish what you've started. That, you know, a working title, as they say. You can find all of these pieces on my website. I'm hyping them up a little bit on my Instagram, but I'm not super active over there these days. Just every now and then when I feel like it. I have to fast frequently because I'm very addicted to my cell phone. And yeah, look at how beautiful everything looks in the sunlight. I hope that I can figure out what's been going wrong with my coloring with exporting videos, because everything does not look the way it's supposed to, but I promise, everything looks so good in person, and in real life it's like amazing. So I'm about to yap at you in an outro real quick, kind of give you the rundown. You know how it goes. Like, subscribe, comment, tell me which piece was your favorite. And then this was a river by my house. So pretty. Golden hour. Well, honestly, that was it. My boy Cheese wants to come up again. You can only come up if you sit still. Only. Okay. He knows the rules. He wants to say hi. He wants to say hi and bye. And be a part of the last little clips of the video. Thanks so much for watching. I have been feeling very satisfied by getting these projects done. I have a few more that are on my bench that I am actually inspired to finish since beginning this project of like mission finish everything that you've started. And I've cleared everything out enough that I am now starting new pieces. I'm just gonna tease something. That I started. I bought these crazy gemstones on Instagram. I found a miner / gem cutter, and I participated in a sale that she was having, and I made my first piece out of that. So it has been really nice to have a lot of clear space to create new things. I think that a lot of those pieces that had just been around for a while were like weighing on my mind. Like, objectively, they could have gone in a drawer and I could have started something new, but I knew that they were there. I knew that they were just like unfinished and that they were being ignored, and it felt like it was time for these pieces to be birthed. So if you're interested, I have rings, I have symbols, pendants galore. You watched me make them all over the last couple weeks, and they are available on my website. If you would like to purchase what we worked on in the studio, please do. A lot of the symbols pieces that I offer, I actually do offer made to order. So like the bat and the Super S, and then I even have like a whole line of them on my website. If those symbols don't resonate with you, there might be one on my website that does. And then if none of those resonate with you, please send me an email and be like, hey, I want you to make me this symbol. I'm considering opening a custom listing for symbols pendants for people like you who want a very specific symbol that I have yet to create. Because let me tell you, there are lots of images out there, lots of little symbols and things out there. And I have a hard time figuring out where to go next. So I just do one little thing at a time. Obviously you guys watched me finish a bunch, but I have a bunch, rattling around in my little noodle noggin brain. And I'm not sure what direction to go in. Flowers, herbs, animals, other kinds of plants. I don't know. Let me know. What kind of symbols pendants do you guys want to see? Next week, we're finishing a quilt. So if you're intrigued by just the artistic process in general, I am somebody who has lots of irons in the fire. I work on lots of different mediums at the same time because sometimes different mediums can offer me different things. Like last night, I was sewing. I chose to spend my creative energy at my sewing machine, and it was very fulfilling. Today, I'm going to be working in my studio in here, making metal things after I sit at my computer and edit this video. I just enjoy the ability to create in many different languages. Sometimes my creative energy wants to be expressed in different ways, and I think that that's what having different mediums offers me, and I'm finding it very fun. I've said it in every other video, and I'll say it in this one too. I live a devotional life to the creative spirit. I have a devotional practice to creativity where I actually show up and I create every single day. It's a non-negotiable. It's something that I feel like if I don't do, I am going to implode. And so I create every single day. There's a fly. Cheese is gonna go if it gets too close. He's being very good. I told him he has to sit still if he wants to sit on my lap, and he's doing a very good job. If you want to follow me on my journey and my devotional practice to the creative spirit, my hope is to inspire you to be creative in your own creative ways. I believe that we all have this inherent creative spark within us, and it's going to express differently for every person. Once again, thank you, Magic Mind. If you would like to try this beverage, please use my code, SabinaJune50. There's a link down in my description, and you can click that and place your order and use my code and take a little money off. It's 50% off your first subscription order or 20% off your first one-time order. It's worth a try if you feel so called. Subscribe, like, comment, do all the things. Thank you so much, and until next time, my friends.